There are also a lot of drones like from DJI, which is what I use, that you can put together. They can just buy, plug in through their app, activate the drone, and you're ready to fly right away. And with these drones, they come with GPS and sensors to help you avoid crashing. They keep their elevation, they hold their position with the wind. So if you have the budget, you can go ahead and get one of these with GPS and sensors.
Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Lisa Lee with BTV Forum, and today we're going to talk about technology. Throughout these years, our technology has become so advanced and innovative. Before the invention of color TV, TV was actually only in black and white, and before the invention of internet, before that, it was only dialed up internet, but now you have internet that is in lightning speed. So there's a lot of new technology, new inventions, including computers, cell phones, laptops, and you name it. Today I've invited Alvaro Puentes, and he's going to share some insights and very interesting things about how he was able to build his own computer and how he was able to print very fun and exciting things using his 3D printer.
Hi everyone. Well, computers are actually very easy to build because things don't go into slots where they're not designed to go into. Like for example, you can't plug the CPU in where the graphics card goes, or you can't plug in the wrong power cable to the wrong socket. It just won't fit. So building computers is actually a lot easier than you might think. You just need a few basic components. Number one is the motherboard that holds all the pieces together. You attach the CPU and it's cooler to that. You also need a display adapter or a graphics card if you want to play games. Otherwise, AMD and Intel both have CPUs with graphics built in. And you're going to need storage and memory. Storage is where you keep all your operating system and all your files. And then memory is the memory that gets erased every time you turn your computer off. This is used to run the programs, and it's called RAM. So basically you just need the case, a motherboard, CPU, graphics if you're going to use it, your storage, and your computer memory. And to power all this, you're going to be using a power supply. And this will be based on what components you're buying, but for the most part, they're pretty generic and not that expensive. So like I said, there's a lot of YouTube tutorials that'll teach you how to put all these things together step by step. And it's not really difficult. If you can put together Legos fairly easily, then you should be able to do this because every piece only goes into one slot. You can't put things in backwards like your memory or your hard drive because it won't fit. And also, I do a lot of 3D printing. This is a little bit more difficult because there's a lot of tinkering that's involved. You have to tweak a lot of little settings to get it just right. But once you get it right, it's not that difficult anymore. You just, put your models in and you start to print them. If you want to create your own models, then that might be a little bit more difficult. You need software like Audocat. But there are free ones like FreeCAD that let you design your own parts or models and then print them yourself.
When color broadcasting aired in the 50s, people were blown away by the magic of a full-colored image. And just like with television, the desktop 3D printing industry has been stuck in black and white, but XYZ Printing aims to change that. We bring you the Da Vinci Color, the world's first full-color FFF 3D printer, and thus ushering in the new full-color era of desktop 3D printing. Powered by 3D Color Jet technology, with a hands-free auto-calibration system, motors move the knobs for you so you don't have to worry about calibration. The Da Vinci Color also has a robust 7.9 by 7.9 by 5.9 inch build size, and its easy removable print bed allows for easy print extraction. The 5-inch full-color LCD touchscreen interface enables you to navigate through all printer functions. And with Wi-Fi and USB connectivity, sharing designs with your printer has never been easier. Let the Da Vinci Color take your design to a new level, allowing creative minds like animators to produce prototypes in true color that are ready to be shown to executives and producers. character designers to print out their favorite comic book, video games, or fantasy characters in their authentic shape and in full color. Or the world's first full-color fused filament fabrication 3D printer.
It's a little bit more difficult if you don't have a drafting background, but you can always download free 3D models, and there's thousands and thousands of them online on various different websites. So you can just look those up. Once you've calibrated your printer, just download it, load it into the program, and just hit print and just watch it get created. Thank you.
May I ask what kind of material you use to print out your objects?
Well, it's mostly ABS-based plastic, which is a little bit smelly when you're printing, and it can actually be a little toxic, so it has to be in a well-ventilated room. Or there's another different material called PLA, and this is a corn-based material that has no smell. I suppose it's generally safe for kids, but you don't know what your printer is made of, or if the printer head or components have lead in them, so it's still not suitable for small children.
All right, so can you also share a little bit about your 360 camera and how it actually works?
Well, right now 360 cameras have gotten more popular. It basically lets you take a video or a picture of everything around you, as the name implies, 360, in every direction. And with these cameras, what they let you do is you take the video and you can choose where you want to focus on later. So you can reframe the shot so that you don't have to worry about where to point the camera or how to orient it or anything. And the stabilization is a lot better.
Oh, what is this?
Introducing Qoocam 8K.
This is insane!
Now with these cameras, 4K is no longer a very high resolution 360 camera. Now they're going to 5.2, 5.6, 5.7, and even 8K for the consumer cameras. And they range anywhere from a few $100, maybe even $100 for an older model that still works pretty well, to almost $1,000, depending on what you want and what quality you want. The one thing about all these cameras that you have to think about, though, is it takes a pretty beefy computer to edit these files. So if your computer is a couple years old, you might struggle, and if your computer is 5 to 10 years old, you may not even be able to play back the files. So one thing to consider.
Okay, and last but not least, please share a little bit with us about your drone and how people can actually use the drone.
Well, there's several kinds of drones. There are drones that you build yourself, which again requires someone that likes to tinker and put things together. But there are also a lot of drones, like from DJI, which is what I use. You can put together, they can just buy, plug in through their app, activate the drone, and you're ready to fly right away. And with these drones, they come with GPS and sensors to help you avoid crashing. They keep their elevation, they hold their position with the wind. So if you have the budget, you can go ahead and get one of these with GPS and sensors. Otherwise, there are more toy drones that you just run with your phone. And these you have to be careful with. Any strong gust and your drone will probably fly away.
Are they a little bit tricky to use?
It depends on the drone. If you buy the more expensive drones with GPS and sensors, they're pretty easy to use. You just hit take off and it takes off itself. And if you're going to run into something, it'll avoid it with its sonar sensors. Also, if you lose your drone and you don't know where it is, you can just hit return to home. And most of them now will just fly right back to where they took off from.
Oh, okay, that's amazing.
For as long as people have walked the earth, they've wondered how to fly. We have spent more than a decade crafting tools for dreamers. Now, we're going one step beyond with an immersive experience unlike anything else. Introducing DJI FPV. The world's first ready-to-fly FPV drone that lets users of any skill level feel the thrill of immersive flight. We've also revolutionized the FPV experience by creating the DJI Motion Controller, a compact device that enables ultra-intuitive flight based purely on hand motions. With the standard remote controller, 3 distinct flight modes offer multiple options for anyone to fly FPV. Start with N mode for an immersive experience with traditional flight controls. S mode simplifies FPV controls for an exciting hybrid flight. Activate M mode to unlock unlimited flight controls. Now the only boundaries are your skills and imagination. No matter which controller or flight mode you're using, enable emergency brake and hover with one tap to stop and hover in place. The return to home button will bring the drone back automatically to its starting location and land it safely. DJI O3 transmission system delivers crystal clear, hyper-immersive image quality with ultra-low latency. DJI FPV also features a robust modular design. The fully integrated camera records every breathtaking move in crisp detail, putting you right in the middle of the scene, thanks to a super wide 150-degree FOV. Footage stays super smooth thanks to integrated rock-steady technology. This is DJI FPV.
So the last question I have for you is that, do you prefer like today's like very advanced technology where everything is done for you by AI, artificial intelligence, and a lot of these like advanced innovative products, or do you prefer the good old days where kids run outside and like don't use any technology at all?
I think this is a hard thing to talk about, but I think I prefer both. I prefer things that are done in the old way, like when I cook and I get something to eat. I don't like the food that has too many ingredients. It's like a product of science. No, thank you. I'd rather eat, just a natural, doesn't have to be organic, but just ingredients I know what they are. But as far as technology goes, the technology is great. I think it's bad for kids to spend all day inside on their phones. Everywhere I go, on the subway, on the MRT, at a coffee station, everyone is staring at their phone. We're like phone zombies now. Something happens and nobody knows what's going on because they're all staring at their phone. But everything has to be done in a reasonable manner and responsibly. So if you have kids, don't give them a phone until they get older, and set limits. It might be easy to just, here, take a phone and I can take a break, but it just depends on how you want to raise your kids. I don't think I really miss having a question and then not knowing the answer and not having any way to look it up other than walking to the library, finding the book, and then looking it up, which is the way we used to do things before. If you have a question, you ask your parents or you ask your teacher. If they don't know, then you go to the library. Now you just take out your phone, hit Google search, and you got your answer, or many answers.
Oh, wow, amazing. I definitely agree with you as well. I also enjoy both of the benefits of having cell phones and easy access to internet, and also having so much innovative technology around us. But I also enjoy having fun, going to the park, and also spending time with my kids. Okay, thanks for watching.